Well, if you're gonna farm it.
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm out here at this field where I sowed wheat. We just have the one field right now, remember, because everything comes after the cotton. But we did get some rain, 3/4 of an inch to an inch. And then tomorrow and the next day, we got a really good chance of rain. I go to AccuWeather if I want to feel really good about my rain chances. They're at like 97% chance on Friday. And I go to the Weather Channel if I want to be more realistic. They're saying 81%. So looks like we should get some more rain on Friday. All right, here's the gauge at this field. That looks like about 6/10. You want to measure at the bottom here of this, I think it's ellipses, but we're about 6/10. I didn't get out here until a day after the rain because these roads get kind of rough for me to get down with the old non-4-wheel drive. So just getting out here, might have lost 1/10 or so from that gauge. So 6 or 7/10. All right, so there's our stand. It's sure looking good. It's nice. You start to see green across the field. So it's getting bigger. I'm here to check. We do need to spray this field with a chemical that would keep broadleafs from coming up, and then another chemical will mix in there to get any little broadleafs that are in there. It's safe for the wheat. But I do need to get that sprayed. Obviously, it's going to have to dry out. But I'm here out to look at the wheat. It needs to be, Sam said it needs to be at the 3-leaf stage to be safe, because you could hurt the wheat when it's pretty little here. All right, so here's some wheat. This one here's got 2 leaves, 2 leaves, 2. So it doesn't look like we're at 3-leaf yet, but that won't take long for us to get to that. So this wheat's going to be a little bit small. I'm sure there's some in there that are 3, but across the field need to wait. This rain that we just got, you can see standing here at the entrance of the field. This rain will make this stuff pop. We're going to have a warm day today and tomorrow, and then that rain that's coming, I won't be able to get to the sprayed until after that one. But by that point for sure, it'll be safe to spray this wheat. All right, I'm going to meet with a crop insurance adjuster here, and we're gonna look at all our cotton farms. I think we will strip everything. There's one farm that I'm not sure about. It's been really dry. So basically what that looks like is we have a kind of a guarantee. And basically they say this is how much you should make based off of historical production. And so we have an amount of pounds of cotton. And when we go out with an adjuster, they'll look at our field and say, I think that this field would make this many pounds. And you can like that or not like it. You can take it or not. And if you take it, then they'll subtract whatever he said or she said was in the field off your guarantee, and then you'll get paid on the difference. So that's kind of like our deductible. So say I had a guarantee of 500 pounds on a field, and he said, it looks like there's 50 pounds out here. I could say, no, I think I can make more than 50. I'm gonna not do that, or I can say, yeah, I'll take the 50-pound appraisal, and they'll pay me on the difference. So 450 pounds is what I'll get paid on. So that's what we're gonna go look at. I've done it with wheat last year, and I've never done it with a cotton claim. So just wanted one field for sure I want them to look at. I want to see, and then the rest I just want to kind of see how they count, and they'll count the bowls. They'll count if it's a green bowl count, they got a way they count. If it's open bowl, they got a different way they count. So it's just lots of things that I don't know about that I want to learn more. The other part on that, I don't know if I did a clear job, was on our insurance. We've agreed to a contracted price for if we get an insurance claim. Now I don't have to take it if my guarantee was 500 pounds and he gave me an appraisal of like 300. Well, that would be a lot of cotton not to get paid on, because if I didn't harvest it, then that 300 goes off and I only get paid on the 200. And so basically, anyways, the price is set for insurance beforehand. The price for harvesting the cotton is not set. It's based on the true market. And right now cotton's dropping, which is strange considering there's not much cotton anywhere. that's the part that I just don't understand. But the cotton price is dropping, so I have to consider all those things when you're taking out insurance. Out here with the crop adjusters, we're looking at some cotton, and we stumbled across some pig damage. They decided they wanted to make their nest here in some of this tall cotton. Thanks, guys. All right, just finished up with the appraiser, got that all done. I'd never seen that before, so we looked at all the fields, and you go to 3 different spots in the field, kind of try to figure out the average yield potential of the field, and mark off a distance, count the number of bulls, and then there's a factor, and that you multiply or divide it by, and that gives you kind of the approximate yield for the field. So that was an interesting deal to learn, to see how that goes. And then we'll also just get those claims going in case we do still have a claim, because even if we harvest it and we make less than our guaranteed amount, then because of insurance, it's a type of insurance plan that pays you the difference. So if I actually harvest it and make 300 pounds and my guarantee was 500 pounds per se, then I'd actually still get paid that difference. So yeah, got to see that. That was cool. That was good to see. Hopefully don't have to do that yearly. That means if you're doing that every year, then you're not making a great cotton crop. But did want to see what that looked like and get some numbers down. Been doing some odds and ends, doing some carpentry work. I do enjoy carpentry, but redid our entire house because of necessity, because you can't get people to call you back. So you just figure it out and learn. But Grandma's getting a new roof at this house and just got the roof done, but there was some water damage that Dad and I been working on. Had some water leakage coming down here. This flashing was out there, so we replaced that siding. We're gonna replace this siding. And this was the biggest issue. This valley flashing right here was there, but there was not this other flashing, so water would come down and get there, and this was rotting all this out. So a couple farmers, Dad and I, figured out the best way, and we got this fixed, and so we'll get this all buttoned up. So cool story about this house. It was being built in the 70s, same as the barn. My grandpa was doing a lot of the work himself, and in the 50s, it was so dry that there was no federal crop insurance and protections for farmers to make a living. So a lot of farmers took up new jobs, and my grandpa took on carpentry. So there's a lot of cool old tools in the barn. That table saw that you've seen, that was his. And so he was building this house. Well, he died unexpectedly, and so there's a really cool picture of just farmers from the entire community come and they're roofing this house and decking the house with 1x12s, and so that's a cool deal where community came together. But this house is well built, but built by a bunch of farmers. So that's a pretty cool legacy there. All right, Sunday afternoon here, just watched the Cowboys win. And decided to go. It was a good time to go check out the rain gauges at one place. I checked a couple days ago. We had 7/10, and that road gets too muddy to come down. So this is a day or two after, and I'm going to see what that gauge says. All right. Wow. Looks like we are. This is a day or two after. So 1.4 at least, maybe 1.5 if some evaporated. It's kind of muddy back there, so I'm not going to drive in. I'm going to jump this fence and see now if we've got a third leaf on any of this wheat. And there's some dry spots out there. I can see that this field may dry. Hopefully it dries pretty quick, and we got another chance of rain. This is Sunday. We got another chance of rain on Saturday, or I think Friday, Saturday at the end of this week. So it'd be nice to sure get in here and get this sprayed. So then our sprayer, we need to get it ready to spray cotton, and I don't really want to go back and forth because the chemical we spray on the cotton is a little bit harder to get out of the tank and would kill and burn this wheat. So I want to get this wheat sprayed this week. If we got good sunny weather like we do now, hopefully that'll happen pretty quick, and then we can transition to defoliating some cotton. All right, let's see what we got here. All right, got lots of ants. Let me turn the camera around. So this one is that 3-leaf right there. I think we're gonna start seeing a lot more of that. Yeah, you start looking at some of this. There's definitely a 3rd leaf starting to poke out. All right, so all of that here is be the very last that I sowed when I sowed out the ends. And so this here at the beginning of the field is a day ahead. And as this dries, yeah, this stuff will all be at the right, big enough where that chemical won't hurt it. So we'll get that going soon, but nice to see the green behind me. Either I forgot to dump this earlier or I've updated to a personal water gauge dumper outer. She is the most highly compensated one of those around. This is probably the best thing for them. They needed to run off some energy. The older two boys play this really awesome game called Run Away from the Little Brother. Damn it. What's your favorite thing about living on the farm?
Because I get to work with Daddy.
Oh, that's one of my favorite things too. What else do you like about living out here?
The farming with each other.
Yeah, for sure. What's your favorite kind of farming that we do?
That we harvest.
We harvest? What do we harvest?
Cotton.
Cotton? What do you like about that?
Because we get to be with each other.
We get to be with each other? Yep. That's pretty cool. Truett, what do you like about being out on the farm?
That we have a bunch of places to play.
Yeah. Why are you so out of breath?
Because I was back there dead, and then I ran all the way back to y'all.
Okay. What's your favorite part about farming?
Daddy, tell me some more things that we like to be that I get to be together with you.
Yep, me too. Tell me again, what'd you say was your favorite thing about farming?
Riding the tractor.
Riding it or driving it?
I mean driving.
Driving? Do you like riding it anymore?
Sometimes.
Mostly just driving now?
Yeah.
What's your favorite part about living out here in the country where we live?
We get to play in the fields.
Playing in the fields? Like doing what in the fields?
Shooting guns.
Shooting guns? That is pretty cool. What kind of guns do you like to shoot the most?
I don't know. I've only shot a 410, a 22, and a BB gun.
Well, what's your favorite so far?
A 410.
Why a 410?
Because you can go dove hunting with it.
Well, I'm Emery Dudensing, and I'm going to have a birthday November the 3rd, which is pretty close.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be 90 years old.
90 years old.
Yes.
I always joke that there's something in the water around Sagerton and Rule because there's all these women that are 90 years old and up. You and you said Doris and Dorothy and Meta and Anita. There's a bunch of
Well, they're older than I am.
Well, I know, but all those women, 90 years and older.
Yeah.
Living, a lot of them living at home and still driving. Y'all doing so something in the water here around Sagerton, huh?
I don't know about that. It could be.
So how long you been farming?
Till I got 65, and I said, I'm going to quit it.
Yeah? What were you doing? What kind of things were you doing up until you were 65?
Well, I mean, did everything, mow the grass and up to 65, drove the tractor.
Yeah.
If Lindale was planting, I was cleaning the beds, chisel some land or cultivate.
Everything.
Yeah, everything that there was to farm.
Yeah.
We used to have Milo, but we don't have Milo anymore because hogs eat it up.
Yeah, that's true. Well, tell me about your family, how you grew up. Did you grow up on a farm, farming as a little girl?
Yeah, I was right close to Swinson Ranch That's where Mom and Dad lived. I drove the tractor for Dad, and we had, at that time, when I was growing up, I was real little, and I'd hold a clutch in on the tractor. I'd keep it in, and when they say, move or something, they holler at me and go, because they had it that maze that it kind of curved. Was it gooseneck maze? I don't remember what it was called.
Yeah.
But you went out there and cut it off, and cut the head off, and throw it on the trailer. And when you get that all right by the trailer, well, then I move up. I could just barely push in the clutch and everything, but Dad let me do it.
Yeah.
And I thought I was a big girl.
You were.
Yeah, I picked some cotton. But when Wallace and I married, you had a bunch of families or somebody that wants to pull the molds off and throw it on the trailer. I mean, they had a sack.
Yeah.
And van go around your shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
And I was out there. Wallace was doing something else. I was out there weighing their cotton sacks.
Yeah.
And then we paid them so much. I mean, how much cotton they had. I don't remember the price.
Yeah.
That just is too long ago.
How did you juggle like having little kids when Dad and Carol were little and trying to help on the farm? How'd you do that when they were real little but you needed to go help?
Well, I helped some things, but not really driving the tractor because I had the two kids. Lindale and Carol just 2 years apart.
Yeah. Maybe I've heard a story that y'all leave them on the turn row and they'd play under the truck or under the shade and.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah. Well, then you see them every time you come to the end. They was older enough to.
Yeah. Yeah.
Know what's right and wrong.
Sure. Do you think they know what's right and wrong now?
I hope so.
Me too. I learned from one of them. I talked about when you got a new roof on the different video about how when Wallace died, the house wasn't finished and a bunch of farmers and people from the community came and helped finish the house. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Well, they came because if it rained, it ruined, the stuff, but it was really nice.
Yeah.
They came, people in the community all around, and then there were some people that I just barely knew came.
Yeah.
And then we had church, had dinner at church during the noon hour.
I moved back the last, couple of years. Did you ever think that would happen? And
no, I didn't. And I don't think your dad did either.
I didn't either.
Because when you ask him about retiring, he says, I have never thought about it. Well, he didn't. Not to me, he didn't.
Yeah. What do you think about it all, us coming back and...
Well, it's great if you like it. That so you're happy. Not because I'm happy. I'm happy if you're happy what you're doing.
I am. Yeah, I'm glad. What does it mean to you to say that you're a farmer, that you grew up farming your whole life?
Well, I like it, but I just, at 65, I just quit because I doing all the books and working, helping Wallace, and just cleaning house. But maybe it wasn't too clean then, but and take care of Carol and Lindale.
So you've got your daughter Carol married a farmer, and one of their sons has moved back to farm, Brian.
Yeah, Brian.
And then I've moved back to farm. So that's kind of neat that you've got the legacy, I guess the legacy of kind of both of your kids and then their kids are staying in the farming. And like I said, never thought I'd do it, but I think it'd be cool if one of my boys came back to farm too. So is there anything you'd like to say about that with having kind of...
Well, Brian, I know this. He wore, I think, a suit, or he had to wear a shirt and tie, but he had to dress pretty nice. Mm-hmm. He worked at the bank for a good little bit, see if he liked it. And he didn't like it. Because he didn't like liked to wear jeans and shirt. And I dress up like that every day. That wasn't him. Mm-hmm. So that's the reason he come to farm.
Well, do you have any advice that you would give to farmers or a new farmer starting out? Advice on all your years of experience that you could say, here's something I think is important you need to remember, or a piece of advice that you can think of.
Well, if you're gonna farm it, not let it grow up like you see farms around and make any money at farming. You can't do that.
Yeah.
You might let it grow up a little bit, but you can't just let it think it makes itself. It doesn't.
Yeah, that wasn't too bad, was it?
No, that wasn't too bad.